So this is a container I picked up at an estate sale several years ago. It was a Boeing engineer. I pulled out some really nice things that were headed for the dumpster that Sunday. There was a lot of Heathkit test equipment that was going to go in the dumpster that I paid not a heck of a lot for. Collected all of that, and all of that Heathkit stuff eventually went out to the Mike and Key Ham Radio Fest out in Puyallup, Washington, and I gave almost all of it away. I sold a few pieces for $5, and then at noon I just made it free. And there was capacitor testers. There was just a ton of HP old school vintage test equipment, and it was just really nice to see it get rehomed. There's a lot of other stuff that came out of there. The tower case that my 46 machine runs in came from him. Just a lot of little knickknacks, and there was a lot of these little storage bins that, again, I bid almost nothing on right at the end and got. And I haven't worked through this one yet to see what's in it besides taking the top off. So there's obviously a bunch of 72-pin RAM here, which is really nice. He was very organized. PC 100, 32, 20, 10, 8 maybe megs. There's actually some SIP memory in here. Let's sit the big box aside and look a little deeper at what we've got in here. These are SIP. Is this a mix? I guess this is a mix of 32 and 72 pin. Boy, I can't even think now, but there's actually some SIP RAM in here. I haven't seen SIP RAM in the flesh in ages besides, in other people's videos. I can see that there's another 32-pin RAM there. These are larger than 32s. There is what's probably a processor sitting here that we'll take a peek at. This is an Intel Pentium 4, 1.6 gigahertz, 256, 488, 1.75 volt. And just from a quick look, those pins look to be absolutely fine. So that's a nice little find. There is a Dell. I have no clue. PWB number. There's no clue on this what this is. There are two KM732V598T-15, so I assume there's some kind of RAM or ROM. Is this a 72-pin footprint? No, it is not. What footprint is that? I don't think it's any of these. It's not. This is some kind of proprietary, I'm assuming, card for Dell machines. I have no clue what it is. There's another large RAM stick here, 128 megabyte SDR, DIMM-H. I don't recognize the footprint of this at all. I don't know. Memory Master Upgrade Kit, PNY Technology. That looks like the stick that's actually in the bag. But it doesn't actually tell anything beyond there's some kind of memory there. A Pentium 3 CPU. Looks like 933, 256, 133, 1.7 volts. That's not a bad little CPU. Again, the pins look to be absolutely excellent. I can feel this foam is not aging well. It needs to be replaced. But for now, I'm going to continue to use it just to protect pins. Looks like more 32-pin RAM. So we're going to have to break up the retro chip tester and see which ones of these we can actually test. Yeah, more 32-pin RAM. This is a nice little box of stuff. Nice little surprise box. It's always fun when you find things that you weren't expecting. More RAM. 512 megabyte. I've got, that's nice set of RAM again. So there's a full gig there. So this is RAM. I think it's kind of appropriate to the processors we're seeing float around here. Put those back in the bag for now. He apparently liked his little small cigars because there was lots of these little boxes just with random stuff in them. These are 4164 DRAMs. They look to all be 4164s. There's some Micron parts, which are probably no good. And some Japanese or some Korean parts. I don't remember the brand logo there. Doesn't, I've seen it, doesn't jump out at me. And more 4164s. So that's just 4164s to get migrated into my major DRAM box. Wow, we have a Intel Pentium with MMX. I'm not sure what speed it is. This is when the markings started to get really weird. Again, the pins look, from a cursory look, really fine. I'm assuming that's the BIOS that come out of whatever machine it was, a Ward BIOS. And a 61256 cache memory. Intel Pentium socket 7, it says on it, with MMX again. A couple of a Ward and AMI BIOS. Oh, nice. 486DX33. 486DX, or that's an SX. 486SX33. Was there actually a 486 SX33? So I know the 486DX33 included the math coprocessor, I'm pretty sure, on board, is what the DX was about. Is the SX just missing the math coprocessor? Maybe you get an H33 megahertz. That's 46SX at 25 megahertz. This has got a little heat sink on it. I don't think we're going to be able to tell. Well, there is markings underneath, December 93. The heatsink is no longer well centered on it. It has definitely moved over time, but it's labeled 486DX. So there's some 486 processors. These look like they're probably cache memories. 7C185-20. I'm guessing they're 20 nanosecond cache memory RAMs. 256K DRAMs over here. I don't know what a 71C4256 is. It's not a, it's like an 18-pin DIP, I think, so it's probably a by 4 memory. I bet these are more 4164s. Yep, 4164s. NEC. Looks like a whole bunch more 32-pin SIMs, and the entire bag is labeled 1 meg. We will need to test these again on the retro chip tester. This is a neat little box. Some PAL 16 L8s. They're not Fs, so they're not reflashable, I don't think. I don't know if they're used or not. 4164s, 4164s. Yet more RAM. This looks like to be a set. G times 110, 6 times 110, 8 by 64. I guess they're not really as much a set as they seemed like up front. 64 megabyte, 16 times 72, PC 100. Anyhow, there's more RAM. With the RAM that I already have, I have a lot of RAM. More 30-pin. Gives 640K on a 486. These must be 256K. I'm guessing they're 256K. They do have parity. We've got the third chip on them. Are they all identical? They're looking pretty identical so far. That should be a full meg right there, which means that would get you to 768K. Oh, he says 4 of these gives you 640K. Okay, so it is labeled well. I don't remember the gentleman's name. I don't know if I ever knew it. He had a very tidy lab. It puts mine to shame. He, though, had a lot less stuff than I do. He was... looked like he was into radio and television, honestly, based on the test equipment that we found. 44C256. These look like cache memory RAMs. Cache memory RAMs. And a potential EEPROM or flash. I'll need to look closer at those. This is labeled 8088 memory. They're 4164s again. Can't really see these very well. They're, no matter how I rotate it, it seems to be upside down. I don't know. Those are definitely, they got a dashed number on them of some kind of RAM. Looks like more 4164s. Boy, it's a lot of 4164s. 74, 245. There's some parts here that there's a ROM there, a 129, an old school 245. Something Japanese I don't recognize. 256 DRAMs, so probably 64K by 4. More Micron technology. I don't recognize the part number. They have American flags on them, which is interesting. I don't know how well those are going to show up, but there's an American flag printed on each chip. Made in Idaho. Date code 30th week at 87. Micron technology 1259-10. I think that's a 9. So probably 100 nanosecond. Don't know. I interviewed at Micron back in the 80s. Had a job offer. In the end, didn't take it. It seemed like moving from Utah to Idaho was not an upgrade. Wow, look at that insane package. It's an AMD X64 3800. I don't know enough about the old AMD processors to know what this really is, or even what socket that is, but the pins look to be in really good shape overall. Let's try to capture that on something. That many pins, it really makes it hard to capture. Just like that one fell off there. Looks like more Micron RAM. Or no, these are TI, so they might actually still work. 42, 256, 4 256. Yeah, these are going to be 64K by 4 on the top here, it looks like. And these are, I believe, Hyundai 4164s. A 2716, 450, another one. These are TI 2K by 8 EEPROMs. Another one that the pins have just been mangled on. A COP 410. Why do I feel like I should know what that is? Is that from the Bit Slice chipset? COP 410. I'll have to look that one up. That doesn't jump out at me. Another memory stick. Looks like it's a 1 meg stick, most likely. Anyhow, that empties the box out. So a lot of interesting stuff here that I will eventually get sorted into my storage, get it onto nice fresh new foam. The old foam slowly turns to tar. It dissolves the leads on ICs. I don't see any of that happening here yet. If you've got parts stored in really old anti-static foam, this feels like this is really starting to go. It's not etching the leads as far as I can see yet. But I've actually got ICs in my collection where the leads have basically been dissolved off by foam that's dying. We'll certainly get them transplanted to modern foam if you got some stuff on really old foam. You can actually find it on Amazon. You can get 12 by 12 sheets of anti-static foam on Amazon. So I guess it begs the question, what can't you get on Amazon? I have no clue. We'll be able to test these and these. We'll be able to probably test the SIPs on the vintage chip tester. Anyhow, I thought I'd share a little bit of exploration here with you. Somebody in the comments tell me what this was. Is it like a personality card? It's almost like a Pentium 3 board. I have no clue. It's got a bunch of resistor networks on it. I assume they're terminations or pull-ups or something. I just don't know. Mangled EPROMs, no parts. I am going to have to eventually do something to organize all this stick RAM. These I'm going to leave out because we are going to test. We have little bits of black foam all over the place. So that was kind of fun. That was interesting to see what I ended up with in that. Like I said, I bought bulk, a ton of stuff. Most of it's been given away, a small amounts in storage. A few things like this I kept because I knew at some point I'd want to explore them. It's always nice to rescue something, even if you don't want it, and get it into somebody's hands who hopefully will appreciate it. I shot some videos on expansion interface for the TRCD Model 1 from Lobo ages ago, and one of the viewers out there actually spotted the video and he's restoring one, and I've actually packed up the expansion interface in that really badly rusted out case, and I've shipped that off to him, and I'm about to ship off the Lobo hard drive floppy drive combo unit to him as well. And this is a case again where I'm just glad to rehome it to somebody who actually works on the stuff and can appreciate it, not looking to profit from it. Like I told him, I paid $20 for an entire pallet of stuff that those were a part of, and I'm glad to get those in the hands of somebody who can appreciate them, potentially restore them, etc. So, if you come across stuff out there in the world that you're not necessarily interested in, but it's vintage, grab it, rehome it. It's really nice to see something light up a collector's eyes who, oh my God, that's the piece I've been looking for ages. Anyhow, I will wrap this one up here, and I will see you in a future video.